So today we're here with Drew from Naples, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself, and then we're going to get into looking at some awesome videos. How you doing, Drew?
I'm doing great, Amit. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to see what you got today.
Yeah, I'm excited to share. We got some good stuff.
Awesome. So where is Naples exactly, for those that don't know?
The simplest way to say it is we're kind of parallel with Miami, but on the west coast of Florida. And then we're about 2 hours south of Tampa.
Oh, okay. And who would you say, for someone that doesn't know Naples, how would you describe Naples?
How would I describe Naples? Um, I describe Naples as a small town, but it has a lot of the aspects of a bigger city just because it's an affluent area. There's a lot of seasonal people, but there's also a lot of families here, like myself, born and raised in Naples. So there's a good variety, but it's got a little bit of everything.
Right. Yeah, I know Naples well. It's beautiful. And so you're the West Coast. You have the West Coast, I guess, ocean, right? Totally different than the Miami side.
Right, Gulf of Mexico, right? Water's a little bit calmer, but yeah, similar.
Probably the nicer part, I would think. It
That's
seems like it.
I can't answer that. It depends. Some people favor the East Coast, some people favor the West Coast. What can I say?
All right, cool. So today we're gonna go over three different types of properties. One roughly 500,000 or so or less. Mine is a little bit more because I'm hosting this. And the next one is right about 1 million. The third one is going to be more, and then Drew has a bonus one for us. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and hopefully you guys get a lot out of this. Okay. So this is my first one. This is 519,000. This one is it's in Brickell. So for those of you that don't know Miami that well, we have like a financial district, and Brickell, downtown area, Edgewater, those are areas that probably the best way I could describe it would be like younger professionals would be going there. They'd be going to cool bars, the coolest restaurants, and just people that they're called Henrys. For those of you guys that don't know what Henrys are high earners, not rich yet. So it's sort of a funny acronym, but these are people that have worked really hard. They're younger. They're like basically Drew's age. They look like Drew, doing well, maybe dressed like him sometimes after work, and just going to a club after, going to a bar. I guess when I was younger, it was more clubs, but it's more like bars and great food and stuff. So anyways, the reason I'm telling you a little bit more about this area is because all of my properties today are in this area. So the first one, 950 Brickell Bay Drive. This is on the 41st floor, so it's really high. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. It's about 1,000 square feet, and it's only 519,000. And with that said, you could probably get it for less because it's been on the market 154 days. So that's a decent amount of time on the market. It's also built in 2008. The maintenance fees are $622 a month. So that includes insurance and a ton of amenities. But I know you guys don't really care about that. Let's look at the pictures. So let us go. So this is a view. You have incredible views. Like I said, you're on the 41st floor. Another great view. See how high it is right there, the arrow. Kitchen is nice. Good sized bedroom. And a lot of times when I'm sure you guys look at photos online for properties, some of them really suck and some of them are really good. So this agent, Paul Chawla, he did a great job highlighting this property, because Drew and I don't just pick the first 3 or 4 properties we see. We go through a bunch of them. We want to make sure that we have stuff that we think will be of interest to you, and that seems like possibly a good value depending on your price range. So anyways, you get the idea. Let me see if I could find something that's a little bit cooler. Okay, so I guess this Paul did a great job, but he has a lot of pictures of the same thing. So, anyways, pretty cool hallway. Anyways, we got enough of that, so I'm gonna let Drew take over now.
All right, let's see, share screen, good to go. And so one question for you before I show you mine, Amit, is that the one that you just looked at, that appeared to be redone? Were most things in that building redone? Because that clearly wasn't 2008 like the building, right?
You know what? Believe it or not, that one was probably redone a little bit, but not that much. That in that area, in that Brickell area, a lot of the buildings are for younger people, so they have better taste than people my age. So yeah, it was redone, but not completely.
Okay. But yeah, the finishes, it didn't look like 2008 to me is what caught my eye.
Totally, you're 100% correct.
And then, so how we doing? We good on that view?
Yeah, that's nice. That's a
Perfect.
nice
All right.
kitchen.
So, and to kind of tie it into the question I was asking you, you can see this is built in 1971, but from the pictures, you can tell that this is redone. So the finishes look pretty good, but the big thing about this, if I were to pull up a map for you and show you the location, this is in the heart of downtown Naples. And so there's a lot of areas that are developing if you go farther north, if you go farther east, but you're getting away from what I call the heart of Naples or downtown Naples. And this is really where people want to be. The fact that you can spend roughly $400,000 and be close to 3rd Street, which there's a lot of entertaining. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah, sure can.
Tommy Bahama, there's a Tommy Bahama there. There's all sorts of bars, restaurants. They do a farmer's market here. There's all sorts of entertaining. This is the only time you're going to see snow in Naples. So around Christmas time, thanks for the family. Yeah, it might not be real snow. It's snow, coming from what it is, probably soap coming from the streetlights. But my family and I go down there every year. There's all sorts of events. But you can see how close we are. Fifth Avenue is very popular. That's a place where a lot of people want to go for shopping, dining, all the things that Naples is known for. And then, as you can see, you're very close to the Gulf of Mexico. So this is one that stood out to me. Because a lot of the things in this area, again, back to why I was asking you the question, a lot of them are just older and need to be redone. And a lot of people don't want to do work. I'm sure you experienced that on your side. They don't want to do the work. And a lot of the condos down in this area or in Old Naples, that it needs some updating. So this one kind of checked all the boxes, and it's a very fair price.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, you're right. We come across so many properties that need to be redone. And we live in the age of HGTV where everyone sees everything redone. They don't want fixer-uppers. They want fixed up,
Well, and I'm sure you can relate to this. If you go and you buy, or you're looking to buy something that needs to be redone, a lot of times people get sticker shock at the cost of construction.
Totally. And the time, effort, permits, just everything else. It's a headache.
Well, it's a project, right? Any project, you plan for some margin of error or delay, but it's always longer and more expensive and more painful than you anticipated. But that's part of the process. All right, I'm going to flip it back to you for the next property. Sound good?
Sure. Okay. So let me share my screen. So this is the one we just saw. Let me go to the next one. So this one is right around $1 million. This is 999,000. And this is a crucial error, at least in Miami. When you price it at $999,000, what happens is when people look at properties, they're in price bands. So some people are looking for $1 million or more, and some people look under $1 million. And what happens is, like, when you go on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, or any of these other places, the price band would start from $1 million and over. So that person where the low end of their budget is $1 million or more is never going to see this $999,000 property. So anyways, this one is in Brickell as well. This is built in 2009. It's been 60 days on the market. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 1,500 square feet, so it's big. We're on the 52nd floor, so it's really, really high. And I remember selling a property around that floor. Maybe it was the 53rd floor in this building, and it was pretty windy up there. The agent I was with, their glasses flew off, but obviously it was a very windy day, but it's nice. The wind went on a regular day is awesome. So huge balcony, kitchen is pretty cool. And like Drew was saying before, even though it's like 08, 09, it seems updated since then. And let's see what they say. Let me see if they say it's updated. They didn't really say much, but let's move on to some photos. So you got these great water views. It's a king size bed, so the room is big. Lots of room. Nice shower and tub. Trying to find something exciting. It's a nice view. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess this unit is mostly view, because look how much higher you are than these other buildings. It's like insane. So anyways, the maintenance fee is $751 a month, and it's not that bad. Taxes, the person that buys it, the taxes will go up. Roughly in Dade County, the taxes are give or take 2% of the price of the property. So it would probably be 18 to 20 grand. But let's go back to Drew.
All right, and what I was going to say, from seeing that, a lot of the high-rise condos that we have on the beach, I felt like we're actually, the HOA fees that you showed right there were not too bad compared to what we've seen. I mean, we see a lot of them where they're 6, 8, 12 grand a quarter, and that was only what was that, $1,000 a month? I think it was.
Yeah.
Pretty affordable. All right, so this one we have here. This is in Island Cove of Pelican Marsh. Now, this is in North Naples. So what I showed the property before was in downtown Naples or southern Naples. This is in North Naples. And again, this is in Pelican Marsh. Pelican Marsh is a highly desirable community. This was built in 98, so most things are that time. Some are a little bit older. But this community has a lot of maturity. But within it, is there roughly 24 sub-communities? But anyway, got a good golf course, highly popular. It's in an all-A school district. Predominantly, I think there's probably a lot more seasonal people here. They're not so much focused on school district, but it is in a very good school district where my family and I live, literally right next door. So I'm very familiar with this area. But you can see they start off with a pool view. It's hard to beat that right there.
Especially during these times, right?
Oh my goodness. I'll be honest with you. My wife and I live immediately next door to the park in our community. And I always told my wife, I'm like, we never need a pool because the pool is like 20 feet away. We don't need one. And, for most of the time being cooped up, we spent some time with our friends down the street, and they have a pool and a great deck, and we ate dinner every night and swam every night. And now we're in the process of putting in a pool. So never say never. You always use those words.
Totally.
But yeah, anyway, so this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's about 2,700 square feet. So good size, not huge, but pretty good size. You can see it's nice and open.
Nice.
One of the things that I would anticipate on feedback, so you see upgrades galore. I was kind of chuckling to myself when you said updated, because how many times have you seen a listing that says updated and then you bring your clients and they look at you like this isn't updated? So that's a subjective term. But candidly, the home that my wife and I bought a few years ago was marketed as updated, but we knew we were going to redo it. So what updated to you is different than me. But nonetheless, in this case, I like the countertops. What I would expect feedback from most people is the current style is lighter, gray, white. So something like that. So that's an easy one to overcome, right? You could replace them or just paint them, but that is the one thing that I could see that maybe someone would see as a drawback. But overall, again, highly desirable community of Pelican Marsh, great location. It's a pretty fair price for the size of the home that you're going to get. Yeah, and again, Pelican Marsh it's a personal favorite of mine. I do a good bit of business in there, and it's just a good community, a great golf club. So that one's at 945. Now I do have one other one that I want to show you. So we wanted to have one at each price point, but as I was going down this road, as I mentioned to you, I was taking the mindset of knowing what I know, being someone that's born and raised in Naples, how would I approach my search? I'll get a lot of people that want to look a little bit farther east or farther north, meaning away from the beach or the water, and your dollar does go farther, but you're not getting the downtown Naples or a proven brand, which I think from my view, in the long run, you're probably going to have better growth or a little bit more stability just because there's more demand. It's the old cliche adage, location, location, location. You hear that, but until you're in the business like we are and you see it over and over again, you know that you can't change it. We can remodel something like this home. So right here, so tying back to this is in the moorings. Homes around here are $2, $3, maybe even $4 million. This home's listed at $997 and it's got a pretty good footprint. It's 2,200 square feet. The person that's going to buy this is either going to completely redo it or just flat out level it. If you see things at this price in this location, that's what's going to happen. I'm aware of some people, someone who's actually going through this process right now that are buying a similar home. They're going to redo the whole thing, and they know in 5 to 7 years they're still going to level it despite putting in a substantial investment, just because that's what's happening in this area. So they don't show a ton of pictures in the inside because they know this is going to be a teardown, but it's a larger lot and you can't replace the lot. You can rebuild the home. You can go a lot of different directions, but you can't replace this lot. So if we go back to the map view, you can see how close we are to the water. And again, this is where you want to be, right? As someone growing up in Naples, I know that everybody wants to be in this area. Back over to you for the next one.
Cool. So the last one I'm pretty excited about. It's $5 million. It's in Brickell as well, 1451 Brickell Avenue. It's on the 52nd floor. It's a lower penthouse. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3.5 baths, 2,300 square feet. Built in 2017. The person who's buying this can definitely get a deal on it. It's been on the market about 800 days. So a lot of times agents will get asked by buyers, like they wait for the price to go down a lot before they put an offer. But what many don't realize is a lot of the best deals are just huge discounts from the asking price. Stuff that's been on the market a long time, sometimes not to get creepy or anything, but we can see the story of the seller, what's going on, and we can tell that they're getting a job transfer or there's relocation or something that is public information. When we know that and the house has been on the market a while, if we do our due diligence, we can probably get a great deal, which in this case, I'm not saying the sellers, but at 800 days on the market, probably get a good deal on it. The HOA fees are almost $3,000 a month, so higher ones, like you're mentioning, Drew. But look at the view compared to like the kitchen, just the openness. Even the master is huge. I mean, it's $5 million, but it is very nice. In the beginning, I looked at this and I'm like, is this on the balcony? Because we do have some properties. The Porsche Design Tower has like individual pools, but this is obviously not. This is the amenities and stuff for everyone. But it's really long, great views. This is the picture I thought was in the patio, but it's not. I don't even know if you want to call it a patio. I guess I just did, but bathroom's really nice. Just, it's like Drew was saying, like with whites, everything that's white makes it look so much newer. And it's so true what you're saying, as far as like, sometimes we disqualify kitchens as buyers when we see it a little bit darker. And if you paint them, it's not that expensive. I mean, it's not as cheap as you may think if they do a good job. But just by spending a little bit of money, you're going to get a totally different feel for the whole house sometimes, because a lot of times the kitchen for some families is like the heart of the house, So it makes a big difference.
And that's our job, right? To help the buyers see what they don't. Or like I mentioned, sticker shock. A lot of times people don't truly understand the cost, and when we break it down for them, they realize, hey, it's not as bad as I thought. So that's where we're the guide and we help them.
Totally. And if someone wants to do stuff after, it's okay, because Compass sometimes has programs. If the seller is a Compass agent, sometimes we can do things. And besides that too, because the rates are so low, if the customer can spend a little bit more and it makes sense to them, where they don't have to do it after the fact, they can put it into their mortgage. Because most people don't know every $1,000 is only like $4 or $5. It's not a huge amount compared to coming up with the money after the fact, like in a credit card or whatever. So this is a building, pretty cool. And let's check out your last one.
All right. Well, and you bring up a great point about the cost of money. I mean, if there's something that you want to do, take advantage of the rates that we have today, because they're historically low. It's funny. I'm always telling people this, and a lot of times they think I'm trying to push them to do a deal with me. Work with someone else. I don't care. Take advantage of it for yourself, whether you refinance or go buy, right? It's just, these are unprecedented times, and capitalize on it.
Totally. And you know about the money situation, right? You're sort of an expert in that field a bit.
I mean, I wouldn't, back to upgrade. It's a loosely defined term, but expert. My wife and I have some rental properties, and yeah, we're small investors, and we built our portfolio through financing. So for someone like me with an investor's mindset, I'm looking around and I'm like, man, we can do a lot with this money. So to your point, yeah, that my mind is always working in that aspect, kind of like that last property I showed you. Yes, that may be a teardown, but that's my mindset. If I'm advising you, I'm giving you the guidance that I would give to my daughters or my family, or what I would do. Now, if you have a different perspective, then we'll work on that. But again, that's the financial mindset or investor mindset that sometimes I can't turn off. But nonetheless, here we are. I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to show you the bonus that you.
Great.
So where we want to start here is, this is in the community of Port Royal. So Port Royal is one of the most, sought after communities in all of the United States. It is, luxury is an understatement. Just to put it in perspective, I think it was in 2018, there was a $44 million purchase that was a teardown.
Oh, wow.
I'll say that again. There was a purchase for $44 million that was a teardown. So it is, there's a handful of celebrities that are there, but Naples is a low key area overall. But anyways, Port Royal is the nicest of the nice. It's where you want to be. So anyways, this one is a rendering because it's new construction, but I chose this because, one, it's in Port Royal, two, it's new construction. So you're going to have the style you want. So as you can see, it's no small price tag, right? We're almost at 19 million. But you're going to get one of the best communities in the United States. You're going to get new construction. It's move-in ready. You don't have to do anything. Whereas you can find a lot of stuff in Port Royal that's, the low one's 5 million, but you're going to see a lot that are 10 plus. And a lot of them, although they're very nice, let's be realistic. People, when you're spending in this price range, you're going to want your own home. You're going to come in and whether you redo some or redo all of it. So if you're going to go to that extent, I would rather spend a little bit more and get what I want. So you're going to get the community you want, it's done, you have everything. So that's kind of why I came upon this one. So this has been done by, or the designs by Cook Architecture. It's one of the well-known firms in town, among the many good ones in town. But you can just see, this is on the bay, it's not on the beach. But back to, this is the current style. You see the background, you're going to have space. They're going to have you got space for your yacht. So you can see the finishes. Again, it's brand new style. It's what everybody wants. I mean, how often, when was the last time you had someone come to you and say, hey, I want dark cabinets?
Right.
No joke. I had someone tell me that a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't laugh, but I'm like, I haven't heard that in a very long time. But it's all style, right? Everybody wants something different.
It's funny because you say about new construction and stuff, no matter how much someone updates an older home, it's still an older home. It's built in whenever it was built. This is built in 2020. So it's never going to be worth the same as the 2020.
Yep. Absolutely right. All right. So that's all I want to show you on that one. But let's go to the bonus that we talked about. So I talked a little bit about Port Royal. And I had a lot of fun searching for these homes because we wanted to find something exciting for everybody to see because we all know it's fun to look at real estate. So this one is on the beach.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just on the beach, but it's 2.5 acres on the beach. So, you know, you think about, there's not a ton of properties in our area that are 2 acres. I'm assuming it's the same way for you, right? Most of the communities, whether it's a high rise or it's a HOA, the developers are getting as many properties as possible. I'm assuming you see the same thing over there?
Yeah, totally, for the most part.
Yep. So this one, I'm not going to go through all the pictures. I just want to highlight it's on the beach. That's my favorite picture. I mean, you have your own beach, 2.5 acres, and
that's beautiful.
It's your own compound. So I mentioned that I'm from Naples, born and raised, and it's funny. $1 million is a lot of money for a property, but the truth of the matter is there's a lot of $1 million loproperties. Even ones, as I mentioned, going farther east and going farther north and newer developments, and they're done by good builders, developers, and their locations are pretty good, but they're not Naples. They're not the heart. I assume it's probably like South Beach maybe for your area. It's that name, that brand, that prestige that's never going to go away, and there's only going to be more demand coming to the area, but the real estate is fixed. And so that's kind of why I picked this one. Is it's 2.5 acres on the beach. You know, I'm not going to dwell on it any longer than that.
So cool. So guys, thanks for joining us. I know that I'm going to be sharing more properties. I'm pretty sure Drew is. It's pretty exciting. And we're going to reach out to other people so you guys will know what's around the nation. So I'm going to say bye to you guys. I'm going to talk to Drew a bit. And thank you so much for joining us.